Imagine a cold morning in July 1863. The sky seemed to weigh down on the rolling hills of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, as the distant sound of drums and gunfire echoed across the fields. Can you smell the gunpowder in the air? This was the scene of the bloodiest battle of the American Civil War, a confrontation that would determine not just the fate of a nation but the courage and sacrifice of thousands of men. Before we dive into this epic story, leave a comment below telling us what you know about Gettysburg and share this video with someone who loves history. And if you enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The beginning, an imminent clash. On July 1, 1863, Confederate troops led by General Robert E. Lee advanced northward, crossing the Potomac River into Pennsylvania. Lee, confident after victories at Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville, aimed to shake Northern morale and pressure Washington, D.C. into negotiating peace. Opposing him was General George G. Meade, newly appointed commander of the Union Army, who recognized the threat and began organizing his forces. Around 93,921 Union soldiers and 71,699 Confederate soldiers would face off over the next 3 days. Imagine it. Nearly 165,000 men, all converging in one place, ready to fight to the last breath. The battlefield, terrain that decides destinies. Gettysburg was no ordinary field. Rolling hills and small woods made every advance a calculated risk. Locations like Little Round Top, Cemetery Hill, and Seminary Ridge became legendary. The geography gave the Union a tactical advantage, allowing troops to hold elevated positions that made Confederate attacks costly and deadly. Meanwhile, soldiers carried their weapons, Springfield and Enfield muskets, Spencer repeating rifles, and a mix of pistols and sabers for close combat. Supplies, ammunition, gunpowder, food, and water were constantly needed, yet the rough terrain and constant fighting made logistics a nightmare. Even the horses and mules used for transport often died under fire, highlighting the harsh realities of war. The middle, 3 days of terror. The first day, July 1st, saw initial clashes north of Gettysburg. Confederate forces pushed against Union positions, forcing a strategic retreat but failing to capture all objectives. It was only the beginning of an epic confrontation. On July 2nd, fighting raged at Little Round Top, Devil's Den, and the Wheatfield. Union soldiers held seemingly impossible positions under relentless attacks. Names like Colonel Joshua Chamberlain and his 20th Maine Regiment became immortalized for defending Little Round Top even when surrounded. The final day, July 3rd, witnessed the famous Pickett's Charge. Over 12,000 Confederate men marched across open fields toward fortified Union positions. The slaughter was horrific. Around 7,000 Confederate soldiers were killed, with thousands more wounded or captured. Union casualties included roughly 3,100 killed and over 14,500 wounded, bringing the total losses at Gettysburg to around 51,000, making it the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. Brave soldiers and unsung heroes. Gettysburg wasn't just about strategy and weapons, it was about people. Beyond the well-known soldiers on both sides, Native Americans and enslaved people played important roles. Some Native Americans served as soldiers or scouts, bringing terrain knowledge and survival skills. Escaped or freed slaves carried supplies, worked in field hospitals, and even fought in some Union units. Each contributed with the hope of freedom, survival, and justice, showing that heroism went far beyond uniforms. Among the most notable figures, besides Chamberlain, were General John F. Reynolds, who died on the first day but whose sacrifice was crucial to Union organization, and Confederate General James Longstreet, whose tactical skill was tested under nearly impossible conditions. Memories and legacy. Gettysburg left deep marks. Cemeteries and monuments were built, and detailed accounts from survivors documented both the horrors and heroism of the battlefield. Letters, diaries, and memoirs revealed not only military strategies but the human suffering, the cold, hunger, fear, and the deafening roar of firearms. Union victory at Gettysburg was decisive. It stopped Lee's invasion of the North and boosted Northern morale, paving the way for ultimate victory in 1865. 2 months later, Abraham Lincoln delivered the famous Gettysburg Address, honoring those who died to ensure democracy and union would endure. Before we move on, comment below, which part of Gettysburg impresses you the most? Share this video with history buffs, and don't forget to ring the bell for more epic time travel journeys into the past. Conclusion: the field never forgets. Gettysburg was more than a military encounter, it was a chapter that defined a divided nation's destiny. Between the smell of gunpowder, the roar of battle, and the courage of its soldiers, history was written with blood, tears, and heroism. Every hill, trench, and monument tells a story of struggle, strategy, and resilience. Visiting Gettysburg today is like stepping into living history. It reminds us that freedom often demands sacrifice, courage emerges in the darkest hours, and every soldier, Native American, and enslaved person contributed to America's future. If you made it this far and were captivated by this story, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. The next journey through time is coming, and you won't want to miss it. Gettysburg is more than history, it's living memory, courage, and a lesson that echoes through the ages.